Right. Let's see how we can do the handling files. So how to open, how to read, how to write, how to remove files. Right. So the first thing is you need to remember some functions, the key functions that you need to remember when you're working with this file handling. Like now, there's a function called open. There's a function called open, right? Now, in order to work with the files, right now, this open function takes two parameters. One is file name and the other one is the mode. Right now, it takes file name and the mode. And therefore, based on the mode you are passing, it do different activities. Right now, we could read, we could write, we could read, we could write, we could append, and we could create. Right now, if we pass mode as an R, R means you are opening the file for reading. Now that's the default value. Now, if you have just passed, if you just pass the file name with the open method as a parameter, as an argument, sorry, then the default would be read. That means file will get open for reading, and it will return an error if the file is not available. If the file is not existing, it would return an error. Right now, if it is writing purpose, then you should pass the W. Right now, this one that is for writing, and if the file is not, this would error if not available. If the file is not available, error. Write, create the file. If it is the file exists, it will write. It will create the file if the file is not available. And append is for append. That means to add to the end for appending. And it will create the file if it is not available. That means when you pass A, appending means A, and that is for appending. And then if it is if you pass A, that would create the file if it is not exist. Then create. So in order to create a file, you need to pass the tag as X. All right, now this would create the file and error if available. Error if available. Right now, if it is available, it would give us an error. Right now, let's say now here I'm gonna try out this. Right now, a file which is not available here. I'm gonna say open my.txt. I'm just trying to open a file called my.txt. Right now you can see there is no file. There was a file not found error because I'm looking in the desktop called my.txt, but there is no such file. Right now, if you open it as R, the same thing. Right now, R is the flag, the mode we are passing as a string. Right now, then if you pass it, again the same error because there is no such file. Right now, you can see here, there is no such file called my.txt. Right now, if I pass W, that is for writing. Now, no error because the file has to created now. The file has been created now. See, file has been created. Right now, there is no such text there, but the file has been created. Right now, if you open it for R, then there's no right? You will not get the error because file is existing. Therefore, you can open for reading purpose. Right. Now that is how you open a file using read method or the open method with the read um, flag or the read mode. Right. Then if you have, let me open this my.txt. Right. That's it. Nothing no here. Right. Then let's see here. If you want to write something. Right. Then if you want to write, we'll write something here and thereafter we'll read what to write. Let's say, hello user, welcome to Python file handling. Let's start. Okay, if I have written this in my text, now let's see how can you read. Right now we can open the file with the R mode. Now we need to read this. Right. Then let's say even without R, it by default it could be taken as read, right? Then you could use print. Right now the open file has to be saved inside, let's say F. Right now, first we'll print the type of it, and then we'll see what's this F. Right now, then you can see this is the class IO text input output wrapper. Right. Then if you want to read it, then you could call the method f dot read. Then it would read everything written inside the file. Right now, because now the both files are in the same place now. Right now, both files are in the same place. Right now, let's say I'm going to create a folder called code, and inside the code, I'm going to put this my.text. Right now, inside the code, I have my.text. Right now, if I try to read it now, I will get an error because why? There is no such file in the directory in the desktop. So we need to get into this code folder. Right, we need to get into the code folder. Then we need to pass the path. Right now, if you pass it like this, right? Now let's see. Now you will get an error, Unicode escape, because now this is taken as escape sequence characters. So we need to put two backslashes. Then that would be okay. Right? That is how, if it is in a different place, that is how you read. Right now, once you open a file, right now you should close it as well. Then right now, in order to close the file, you could use f dot close. And if you use f dot close, and thereafter again, if you try to read, now the file is no longer open. See, you will get an error value error because the file has been closed. Therefore, as a habit, once you open a file, you better close the file as well. Not only read, there is another method called read line. If you want to read line by line, right now you could read lines. Right now it would return a read line. Right now you can say, hello user, welcome to Python file handling. Now if I have just used f.read line. Right now, okay, now let me remove this read method. Right now, let's see. Now it will just print the hello user. And then because here, then it prints hello user. Read line method reads the um, only the first line. Right now, how can you how can you read the second line as well? Now let's see if you put the read lines 2 times, then hello user and welcome to Python file handling. Right now, then you can read the 2 lines. If you put another read line, then you could read the third line as well. See, then you could read the third line as well. Right. If you want to go through like using a loop, if you want to do it using a loop, then you could use the with keyword, right? Then how can you do it? Now, then you could say with open. We can say, okay, let me have it here. With open this file, then we can mention as F. Then we could, you don't have to close. If you use the with keyword, then you could say f.read. Right now, this is how it get printed using the with keyword. Right now, the only advantage is you don't have to close it if you are opening with statement. Now, if you want to loop through this, rather doing line by line, because even here also, if you put read line method, only the first line would get printed, no? Hello, user, right? So what we can do is, let's say, we will go through this right now. Okay, the only let's close it. I forgot to tell you something. I think you may have noticed it right now. Previously, I have used read method. Now, when I open the file normally and when I use the read method right now, let's say, now you can see here, this is how it reads right now. Then if you say read line, right, only the first line. But if you want to loop this, rather writing several lines, if you want to loop this, you can have for I in F. Print I. You can loop through the line by line as well. This is how you go through the files, right? Read the files. Right now, let's see how we can write to a file. How we can write to a file. Right. Now, in a write, we can use W and A is for appending. What's the difference between write and append? Okay. Now, what is this? Right. Now, let's say now if you want to write into a file, and then either we could use WOA. Right. Now, we can get used to with open, let's say this file, W. The mode is W. And then I'm gonna read this as well. And I'm gonna write it. And here this is for writing, reading, and that is for writing, W. I'm gonna say f dot write new text added. Now you can see here in this file, right now, the content has been replaced. Therefore, when you use W, it writes and it overwrites actually. This will overwrite. That would override the file, override the content. That is override the content. Right now, if I put A, okay, let's say new test added 1, 2, 3. Now, previously I had the text, new text added, no, right? Now, if I open this right now, it would say new text added 1, 2, 3. Right now, you can see the content has been updated, overwritten. Right now, if you use A, now, now, and here if I type 4, 5, 6, now you can see it added the both text, right? Now, both lines has been added. Let's say if I put slash in, right now, okay. I'm gonna add the slash in at the top here, at the beginning. Then you can see here, new text added, and then slash n, and then again another slash n. This one. And let's okay, remove this. This is what we have now. Let's assume. Now you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now file has been updated like this. Now this is how you could write into a file. Therefore, if you want to overwrite, use W. If you want to append to the end, you can use A. And if you want to create an empty file, just pass X. Okay, now I want you to first create a file called testme.txt in your documents folder. Right, hello 1 2 3, then append I 4 5 6 in separate lines, okay? And then read using a loop. And also mm, display number of lines in the file just to find out how to display number of lines, answers for the above codes. You don't have to write it, no? Okay, send me the answers via chat, please, quickly. Right now, okay, you can do it like this or else. Mm, let me get the sorry. Right now here I have open it and then count equals, let's say, f dot read lines. Right now here. Now here you can see when I say read lines method has returned me a list contains the lines one after the other. See? Therefore, now I'm getting the length of this. Right now, using that, I can get this as well. Right. Right now, let's say we have a file called my.txt. Let's say we'll see hello summon 1 2 3 Jake and let's say summon 1 2 3 Jake 4 5 6 Bill 5 8 9 Andrew 9 8 7. Like this is what I have. I just wanted to figure out whether this my.txt file contains an. If it contains, let's say an, whether it does it contain the name an. I want to figure out whether this file contains the word an. And if available, I need to display that is available. Anne is in the file, otherwise Anne is not in the file. Try out this. This is the content I have. I want you to search on this text file whether the name Anne is available. If available, I need to display it's available, otherwise it's not available. Right, quickly do it. Now, concern is to find out whether this word is available there and, right? Okay. Now, we'll open my text, right? myTxt, my text. Ah, no, my.txt. We'll open this file as read only method R. Right. Then we'll have for loop for I nef, right? And then if let's say the word we are looking for is an, right? If an in if an in I, then we're gonna come up with a variable called flag. Flag equals true, and then we can break. Then we can use if flag. If it is true, then we're gonna say print now you know the okay. We'll ask for the word from the user. No need, no. And found in the file. Else not found. What does it say? With open my text. Where's the file? my.txt, my.txt. This is inside a different folder, no? That was inside the desktop code. Yes, my bad. And found in the file. Right now, if it is any and unavailable, right. If it is not available there, then it should say, uh, because now there will be an error. Why the error? Because I have not declared the flag variable previously. No, flag equals false. Now it says I am not found in the file. Likewise, you can search for a given one, right? That's how you could search. Right now, if you want to copy this my text into our.txt or something, or copy my text or something. If I want to copy, how can I do that? The same way we could do it right now. I'll leave this for a while. Can say with open this file as f and open let's say new.txt, 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 w to write as d as c, okay, copy. Then I can write now the file c.write, c.write. I want to whatever I'm reading from the file after read. C.write after read. What does it say? As f comma. Now there should be a new file called new.txt, which is in the desktop with the same values available in the my text. See, both has the same. Right now, this is how you copy content from one file to another file. Okay. Right now, find out that part as well, how you deal with this. And if you want to create a new file called merge, and if I want to copy my.txt and new.txt into that new file called a merge file. Right now, how can I do that? Try out quickly that one. Merge the file content from my.txt to new.txt. My.txt and new.txt to will have small changes here, okay? And my.txt and new.txt content to another file called merge.txt. How to do it? You're opening files, right? Therefore, you open the file, first one as F1, the second one as F2, and the third one, open. No need of width. Yeah, same, then m.write, f1.read, and then you can have it like you can put slash in there, and then you can write f2.read. Okay, what is this? It says file not found error. My text. My text is in somewhere, no? That was inside here, no? Right, now this is how you open the one. Then if you want, you can read it and see. All right, now the last exercise. Now, since we have done already about the date time module as well, now I want you to write log. Now the log, the file should contain a text saying user access file. Okay, last activity on, let's say, the date. We'll write what the date at time. Likewise, I want you to every time when I open a file or when I read, okay, every time uh, when I write this, when I run the program, it should have a log. Let's say last read, last activity on my file, my.text is at on last activity of, okay. Okay, right now what I want you to do is when I every time when I open read the file of my text, or when I my text or some other file, new text, let's say, when I read the file or when I write the file, whatever I do for the new text file, I need to write a log file on the my text containing these information. How could you do that? Then we can say with the open, let's say log file, we want to write in a log file, log.txt, and okay, first we'll open new.txt. New.txt, as when you read every time the new.text file, this one, and every time when you read the new.text, I want to, when I every time when I open the new.text as a read only, as F1, then I need to open the log.txt, open the log.txt file in write mode, append mode, as F2. Let's say okay, I just want to show you how to, we need to first import the module, no? Import, we'll get from datetime module, import datetime. Let's open the log file. Log.txt file in appending mode as f.write last activity. Last activity is we need to get the date, right? Last activity plus we'll convert to a string date time as dt.now. That's easier. dt.now plus dot slash n. Right. Right, now let's open the file and see. it has to be log.txt. Right now you can see in the different time slots, right? I have opened the file and then every time it has written a log. That's how you deal with the files. Any questions up to now? You can ask. Delete files. If you want to delete a file, how can you do that? If you now we know how to read, write, read. If you want to delete, now let's do it quickly as well. If you want to delete, now if you want to delete the log file, how can you do that? Right now, there's a method called remove in the OS module, but the file has to be there. If the file is not available, then you will be getting an error. So you can import the OS module, and then you can say if we can check whether the file is available. Then os.path, os.path.exis exists. Right now, I'm gonna look for the log file. If the file is available, so we can say os.remove, and we can remove the file. And otherwise, we can say else. File not available. Right now, if the file is available, you can delete the file as well. What does it say? Invalid escape sequences. Yes. Now, what doesn't show anything? The problem is every time we run now, this will create the log file. No, therefore, okay, let's remove this part. I hope you are done with that now. Now, the first time it will, now it has removed the file now. Therefore, file no longer available. See? Now there is no such file called log here. Log.txt is not there. Now this is how you delete the file. And if you want to delete this, let's say inside the code folder, I have this my.txt. Now, if I want to delete that, we can say, let's take a copy of this path. Right now, this is how you delete the my.txt file. Now the file has been removed. Now you can see there's no file. File has been removed. Right now, if I want to delete the folder itself, okay, right, then doesn't matter, it won't give an error, it will say file not available. Then if I want to delete the folder itself, I can say os.rmdir, remove directory, and the folder name is, what was it called? Now you can see now no longer folder code is available, that has been removed. Now that is how delete folders or delete files can happen. Right now, remember, delete a file. That file, the folder should be an empty one. If it is an empty folder, then only you can delete. Right. Okay, then make sure if you have any questions, you can ask now. Other than that, you can start the SQL server. Then we are going to start with the SQL server in no time. Right now, yes, in order to work with the SQL, we need to make sure the SQL connector is installed on your computer, right? And if the SQL connector is not available, you need to, in the command prompt, right now, if you want site to download the MySQL, I will send it to you via link if any of you require to do so. Right. Then, first of all, we need to make sure the SQL connector is there. Right. Then we need to make sure that we have the SQL driver available in our computer, or else how to download it. Right. Now, in the command prompt, if you do not have installed this, you can check whether you can write this code. Let me share the code with you. In the command prompt, you may type pip install. I think I have installed. Anyway, we'll try MySQL connector. A new release of PIP is available right now. You have to type this command in order to install. Right now, there's a new version. Now, in order to update, in my case, I could type this. Right. Now it should install 25.2. Yes. Now you can see this is the command that you need to type in order to install the connector for Python. And if you have already installed and if it is latest version is available, you will get a notice. Or else if there's an upgrade available, it will show you this message. And then in order to update, it will show you to type this command as well. Now this is how you update the SQL. Right now, thereafter, we need to make sure like whether it connects to a database, right? To an existing database in my case, right? Now, let's say we need to uh, import MySQL.connector, import MySQL.connector. Right now, right now, in order to connect to a database, right now, in order to connect to a database, oh, let's say now, let's assume we don't have any database and then we wanted to create a database. Right now, here, I think I can't remember the usernames which I had. Test, I had the test. I think password was 123. Test 123, test 123. Right, cool. Yeah, I have an account called test. Okay. And I'm gonna using that in order to create. Like now, I'm gonna create a database called what? Test Python DB or something. Right. Right now, these are the available databases at the moment. So I'm gonna come up with a database and then right. Okay, now this is where we are in the right now. Let me log out and see. I have login using root and whether the test is working. Test 1, 2, 3. Yes, it works. Right. Now MySQL is a server and that is a local host. Right. Okay. Right. Let's try out this. Then you're gonna import MySQL that connector. Now we need to connect to a database. We need to first, let's say we need to make sure we need to make a connection, and thereafter we will see what are the databases available, and then we will see how to create a database as well. So I'm gonna call a variable called con equals mysql dot connect dot connect mysql dot connector dot connect. Now we need to pass this host. Host equals, like now we are in the local host, right? And then user is equals to test and password is equals to 1, 2, 3. Right. Now, right now we need to create now the, like we call it as a cursor right now, or like we need to have a driver, or what do you call that? The cursor means right now we wanted to create an object to execute SQL commands. So we call it as cursor object. So we'll create a cursor object and myc is equals to my cursor is equals to right now your connection dot cursor. Right. Now if you want to execute a command, right now myc is the cursor object, then you can execute. Right now this is where we could execute the SQL queries. Right now, the SQL query that I don't know which what I can use here. So if I use show databases, and then I'm gonna just run it and see whether how it looks like. Now it should return something like this. Therefore, this is the command I have here, show databases, right? Then we could type show databases right now, show data basis. Right now, if you feel like that's not good, you can make it as in English as well. Up, up. Right. Okay. In capital. Okay. Then, if you want now, you need to display now the once the results released has to be printed, right? Then, as usual, for I in my Z, the cursor object for I in my C, and then you can print I. Now this part is not longer required. What does it say? Test and dot. Right now, this is how you connect to the database. Now we have made the connection. Now we have executed the query. See, we have we have taken a list of databases. Right now, if you want to create a database, then here, okay, after this, okay, now, okay, we'll create a database as well, and thereafter we'll display my.execute, and then I want to use create database, test DB. Do we have test DB there? No. I'm gonna call it as test DB. Create DB, test DB. Right now, you can see here previously test DB was not there. Now test DB is there. Now we have created the test DB. Right now, if I run again, now I will be getting an error. Why? Because the database test already available. The database table already available. Right, or else like you can get the list, and then if it is available, you can check whether that is available. If not, only you could create the database. That is up to you. Right now, you need to connect to the database. Right now, in order to connect to the database, right now, let me copy this. Right now, here you can pass the database as well. Database equals test DB. We have created test DB. We can create the test DB. We can connect to the test DB. Right now, this is how you create to the test DB. There, you can create a table as well. So using create table statements, we can create a table. Right now, let's see how can we create the table later on. Okay, just try out how to display the databases and how to connect to a database. And thereafter, we'll see how to create a table. Right. So now we are about to create a table on this, and then in order to create a table, we could use create table commands. So um, right now we have the database already there. Now we're going to use create table. Create table. Right now the table name. I'm going to use it as student. Create table student. Create table student. And inside the brackets, I need to specify the fields that are for the student table. Let's say student name, S name, and that's going to be a variable character varchar about size 20, and S name and SID, the student, and that's going to be an integer, and then what else? Mm, mm, name ID, name ID, name ID, name ID, address, let's say. Address again, Vacha 50, and name, address, name, age, address, let's say age also. Age, integer, address. Vacha, right now, this is for the create table. Right. Now, once you create the table, right now, let's see how this is gonna go. Now it got executed. Now, if you go to here, and then if you refresh, okay, as test DB, let's say test DB, the databases. The test DB should be there, and the test DB, there should be a table called student. The student table has student name, ID, age, address. See, now we have created the table. Right now, by any chance, now we have created the table, but we have forgot to set the primary key. And in that case, we could say after creating the table, my.execute. Now we can look for the alter table commands, alter table student, add column. Right now, let's see, I can't remember how to set the using alter table, how to set the primary key. Does any of you remember how to set the primary key using alter table command?
No, sir, no idea about this.
Then you have to learn. Let's try out alter table and add constraint. Yes, I can remember alter table student. Add column. No, we're not gonna add a column. No, we're gonna add a primary key. Primary key. Primary key, which is the column name, which is SID. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna because the table already existing, and now we wanted to set the primary key as the. Now here you can see if you open the structure of this one. Now null values are allowed, and then all the columns null values are allowed likewise. So what we're gonna do is here we're gonna set this as the what does it say? MySQL programming error table student already exist. This one already exists. No, we have already created the table, so the table already exists. So we cannot create a table again. Right now, you can see all the table command got executed. Right now, if you check on this, now you can see ID, the key. This one you can see a key icon here. Now this has set as the primary key. Now this is how you set the primary key. Now this value cannot be duplicated. Now this is how you set the primary key. Now you can add columns, you can drop columns, and you can do many things uh, using this alt table commands. Right now, let's figure it out how to set the values. Now, how to insert the values. Right now, these two also done now, and therefore I'm going to put it back here. Right, and then right now we will see how to insert the values. Right, then in order to insert values, you can use insert into command. Then insert into. There are two ways of doing it. Insert into table name, insert into student, and inside the brackets you can define the variables. That means if you are not passing values for all the fields, then you could use this approach. Let's say you are passing value for the student name ID, and the age only, and not for the address. Like now, if you are not passing for all the fields, then you have to specify the fields that you're going to pass the values. Right, then um, you could pass it as what? Mm, um, you can have student name, ID, age. Now we need to pass the values. Student values, and you can pass the placeholders like this, and LSS. Like as we could do. What are the values you're gonna pass? Right now, we need to pass the name, ID, and the age and the address, right? Okay. Then we can say modulus S. Modulus S, how many? Only three. Right. And thereafter, we can define the values here. Values is equals to let's say name and the ID was an integer, no? ID is integer, 100 and 100. And the age was 20. Right, that's it. Only three values you're gonna pass here. Right, and thereafter, this is a command where right now we have say my is right. We can say we have the cursor, and then we could come up with easily right now the query URI is equals to this, and these are the values. So now we have the values and the query, and then we can say my cursor dot execute, my cursor dot execute. We need to execute the query along with the values. Query along with the values, and then we need to commit the we need to commit it. Therefore, we can say connection dot commit, and then if you want, you can print the number of rows affected as well. My cursor dot row count. My cursor dot row count affected. Right now, only one record has been added, then affected, and then if you write again, you will get an error because 100 was the key I have already set. Therefore, you will be end up by getting an error. Right now, if you go and check on the table itself, now you will be able to see only one value is there. Where is it? The table and 120 and address value we have not passed because we have used the way inside the brackets we have passed s name, s id, age only, and then we have not passed the address. If you want, you can mention the address as well. Right now, you may have let's say now you need to pass the address as well. Right now, if you need to enter many records same time, in that case, what you can do is you could do it as a list. You could have it as a list. Let's say John 101, 21, and UK. Right, and then comma. Likewise, if you want to have some set of values, let's say I'm going to have only 2 or 3. Bill 103, 25, USA, and then Jane 105, 20, 20, and UK, let's say. And likewise, I have a list. So then we could do the same way. It's a list. Now, if you do this, what does it say? Servers MySQL convert to MySQL parameters. In which line? Line number 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is line number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here. We have John, right? Tuples. Right. Now, okay, ID integer, age integer, right? That's also fine. No? Python type tuple cannot be converted. Python type tuple cannot be converted. That's so here. We'll have this myc.execute. Right. Okay, right now we have yes, that's a problem here. What is the problem? Because single command it says execute. Therefore, we have to say execute many. Execute all or execute many. Execute many. Right now you can see three records affected. So if you refresh, now you can see all the values that we have added is available here. Right now, this is how you add the records. Right. Now it's a matter of now we know how to write into a table. Now we know and how to have multiple values also that we know already. Now, um, right now, if you want to have one value, let me have some basic set of values. John, and then if you wanted to do this, you have to say my zero execute. If you want to do it multiples, this is how you could do it, right? Multiple values, right? Then how we do it, and then if you want to read all the values available in this table, right now the query is we can pass here itself, select all from execute, and then we can say select all from the table name, right? Then select all from student. Select all from student. Right? Select all from student. Likewise, you can get. And thereafter, we need to get the results. Therefore, in order to get the results, we can create results object. We call res results is equals to my cursor dot fetch all. Right now, we could get the values and thereafter we could have a for loop to iterate through and then we could print for I in result and print I. Now you can read the values of the all the records. Now when you say select name, if you say select S name, then only the name would be taken. If you say select S name and the ID, and only the name and the ID would be taken. If you say select all, that means if you use asterisk here, that means you are taking all the records, take all the records. Right now, this is how you can take it right now. Let's say now if I wanted to get the values by now I have a query, something like that. Let's say only from the UK. Now I wanted to get only the records, only the name of the students whose city is equals to UK. Then and it says select all from student. Select all from student. Where? What was the address? Where address is equals to UK. Where address was equals to UK. Then only you have a limit. Now you have a specific condition. Now if the address is UK, then only you're gonna get it. Likewise, you can filter out as well. Or else, let's say if I wanted to get starting from U UK USA, starting from U, and then I guess percentage sign here will do the trick. No. Not equal sign, then it has to be a like. Okay, first I will have it like this. UK. Right now, this is how you take filter only for the city is equals to UK. Now exact match is therefore you can use the equal sign. Then I'm going to say like U percentage. That means starting from U. Then you can get, if you put percentage U percentage, that means if that if the address contains the character U, anything would be displayed. Right now, if it is U percentage, now that is how it gonna display. Right now, the same way now, this is how you connect to a database, and I will show you another two queries only. That is to update and that is to delete only. That means if you want to delete a record where whose ID is equals to 105, whose ID is equals to 105, if I want to delete it, then you can say delete, uh, you can write delete from the student table, delete from student where SID, right? Yes, SID is equals to, where SID is equals to 105, where SID is equals to 105 to delete. Right now it has been deleted now. Right now, if you go and check on this one, you will no longer see 105. It's supposed to be deleted. It shows it. Right now, okay, what are you gonna do? My C dot execute, delete from student where SID is equals to do. Right, then, okay, we have not committed. No? Okay, we don't need this part because we are not retrieving any values, right? So we need to commit, and then if you want, you can if you want to display something, you could wait that how many records are affected. Right now, you can see it got affected. It is committed, so now this should not be available. Right, you can see it has been removed. Right, that is how you delete. Right now, this is how you delete it. And the last part is like now how you update it. Let's say now we have John is from UK right now. Okay, we need to change John. Okay, the ID, the name whose name starting from the name is equals to, or the age is equals to, okay, ID is equals to 101. We'll change that into UAE. Right. Now we need to set. Then we need to come up with a different query. Now we need to come up with a query called update student, update student, and set set an address, set address into UAE, set address into UAE where SID is equals to 101, where SID is equals to 101. Right now it says one affected. Now 101 should have UAE values, right? 101 should have UAE values. Right now 101 has UAE. And then let's say for 100 also I want to address as unknown. For 100 also I want to set the address as unknown. For unknown, I'm gonna unknown, right? Likewise, I'm just gonna add it and then let's run it and see. Now that has affected. Now previous it was null. Now it has to be unknown. See, right now this is how you update as well. Okay. Now, now this is how you update. And as the last, we'll see how to delete as well. That means delete the entire table. In Python, in order to delete, we use drop table. Right now, drop table. Right now, drop table and table name. Right now, if you want to delete it, and you can say mm, drop table, drop table student, and then this would just delete the table. Right now, if you want to delete, and if it is only exist, otherwise you will get an error. No? Drop table, if drop table if exists, AX, if exist student. I'm gonna say that drop the table student if exist. Right now, this is to delete the table, right? If you have any foreign key relationships, this will not work. Otherwise, it would delete the table. Right now, if you go and check on here, now the table will no longer available. In the test DB, there will be no tables, right? You can see table has been removed. Now, this is how you drop a table. Right now, even if you have drop table student, would fine. But if you want to delete if and only if the table is available, so you can use drop table if exist student. Right now, this is how you delete a this is how you delete a table. Right now, you can drop the database as well in the same manner, right? You can use the drop database as well, right? So there are not only this, there are many things that you could do with this SQL. Therefore, you need to learn the SQL queries, and thereafter you can try out these. Right now, for the exam also, we will be testing similar things. Right now, let me stop sharing. If you have any questions up to now, please ask.